this is Josh with One Man's Guide, and today we're going to talk about a simple and free mod that you can do to your Monoprice M1060s. Presuming, of course, you have a $300 pair of headphones and a screwdriver. So the mod is pretty simple. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to unscrew these 4 bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you're going to want to remove these pads from inside these. There's 1 on each side. You just take them out. Now I'm going to talk about the properties that allows these to have that they didn't have before, and some of the drawbacks. So I guess we'll start with the drawbacks first, because I want everybody to be aware of the potential risks. I think if the headphones break and you return them to Monoprice, it voids the contract. I'm fairly certain. I don't know, it's not written down, or it might be written down, I just haven't read it. But if you return them like that, I think your contract is voided because you opened up the headphones and worked on them yourself, and their assumption is that in that process you broke them. And they may be correct. But this one's pretty simple. You just take it out. There's not really a big deal. Now, another drawback is that I think dust can enter the driver area a little bit better. So if your house is very dusty, I do not recommend this mod for you. But other than that, what does it improve and what does it open up? Well, if you own the 1060s, you know that one of the things that these are very good at is sounding open. In fact, if you've ever tried HD600s, these sound even more open than HD600s. This comes with some benefits and some drawbacks. One of the benefits is that, it sounds good, but one of the drawbacks is that any form of physical interference is noticeable. So if you move your hands closer while you're playing music, you can actually physically hear your hands get closer because it's echoing off your hands. Now, one of the things that the pads do is they actually quell the highs just a little bit, not a whole lot. They also don't allow as much openness, obviously, because there's a bit of foam in there. The bass hasn't been affected really that I can tell from my personal experience, but what I was chasing after was the highs. Now, it does provide a little bit, tiny bit better soundstage, and that was, I enjoyed that a lot because I'm a huge fan of soundstage. Imaging was approximately the same, and the highs, especially in the upper end of them, without being sibilant, I felt like they were just a little bit more alive. And it brought the headphones to a very even all the way across level. So the bass, the mids, and the highs were all pretty much even. And that's personally what I look for, so I really enjoyed that. Now, I've heard that if you take the pads off from the inside, which I have not done, that it does this even more. Unfortunately, these pads are glued and not Velcroed or anything like that. And I would have to rip the pads off to get to that foam, undo that foam, and then glue the pads back on or stick them back on or Velcro them back on, however I wanted to do that. And personally, I don't want to do that because if I ever do have to send these back, that definitely voids the contract. So do that one at your own risk. I could recommend that. These pads, from what I hear and see on videos, kind of just peel off and there's not much to them. And then it's pretty simple to get these back plates off. You just unscrew it on all 4 bolts and it's pretty fast. Do I recommend the mods? Hell yeah. I took them off, I haven't put it back on because the difference was that substantial. Now, would you be missing much of anything if you leave them in? Personally, I think these headphones sound brilliant with them in or out. I just prefer a little bit better highs for these particular headphones, so I took them out and left them out. But if you don't like the highs on sound in general, or if you think these are already pretty high and you don't think you need that extra little bit, and you don't want that extra little bit of soundstage, then I say skip it. It's no problem, dude. Just do it next time. So yeah, that's it for this simple and easy mod. I guess, again, assuming that you have these $300 pair of headphones and a Phillips head screwdriver. Anyways, my name is Josh. This has been One Man's Guide, and thank you for watching.